The lost species on Earth will probably be what's called like the humans. What does these provide? Do these build? There are reason there for proper reason to proper reason there for proper also reason there for proper reason. There probably indicates reason there for proper there has been earlier suspicions or probably suspicions of how vacant they are. A while these spread some anesthetics, which of the withholdback humans, reason for proper withholdback citizens, doesn't utilize the fact that there's been the school system. This doesn't indicate it doesn't utilize it. If we see their calculation, they know it. Reason for proper also knows it. Which of those ones doesn't use for the police protection? They are go-getters or proper this enthusiasm, also spasm, erratic challenges towards our guys. The gens aren't fought against us, nationalists are fought against. They are fighting against us. There has been probably 100 cases of these murderous attempts that are equivalent of. If our guys are incapacitated in this fight, it's done deal. It cannot be a stalemate because it's already much defined by the Nazi which ones are which. The lions, they're lazy, they're going to eat us. Reason therefore for they're going to eat the person next to them. They're also violent. Or the dolphins, that doesn't have to care about. Instead, it's Kim Kardashian. That's reasonable, right? We're offering something. It's reasonable. We're mentioning something. The hideousness which the humans are extensively out there. There needs to be some vicious counter. Reason therefore for some major counter to them, certainly of. While the big fishes labeled as sharks don't even kill the Nazis. Not that they are unable to, they choose not to. The entire world's platform comes from these liars, robotic, dramatized criminals. Almost anyone that's not beautiful is not a human. They are a psychopath with its brainstem, reasonable with its Nazi cerebral in charge. It's a fight of almost Sauron, Darth Vader, Singhart versus the nasty brain. Most of the humans, reason for probable the Nazis are sick. It needs a major dosage of delusions. Also, reason for probable also pain reliefs. Reason for more of cases of the extremism of the Gorhams. Probable also self-lust. Check on how dysfunctional the Nazis dishonor. Reason for probable or also reason for war, reason for war, another reason for considerable, reason for war. Both families is probably suitable to be evaluated. What are they after? They provide so much suckage. This stuff is just horrible. It's horrific. They're killers. Lots of the Nazis, they're above Hitler, above God. Rampant patrol around the streets, provide such dosage of the presence to our guys. They share it via this. They also does it to somehow induce it. It's not going to be easy level. This is particularly why the proper things after the 1990 has gone by, the great generation faded away. The stuff gotten way worse, in particular because the Nazis keep pushing for degeneracy. While our guys assume lots of her at the small, they're probably, well, at least at the operation level, they're probably a decent person that's just mistaken for something. They're there to murder you. If one for our guys was there, suppose someone check closely. Recent for Papa, there are lots of our elements at the education. Sort of reduces their aggression, discipline them a little bit. If we would have gotten way worse, they're human traffickers. Do we need to bring on the video of how these chainsaw dolphins? Who is able to even think about, oh, chainsaw dolphin, that's a good choice. Well, it takes an absolute freak to bother to do such. These doesn't understand. He purposely does it. Just like these murders after kings is not sort of out of certain fetish. It might be a factor of certain proper extremism cases of extremist borns or also born and stuff. The kings have been down because they want the kings to be down. They have these curses towards them. The reason the populace want. Corporation is a large economic locust gang, guys. reason to for Papa is a giant mafia. It forces others to, even when they're Hitlers, without principles, so dominate without following, without sort of as the proper dominator. Suppose someone goes to their ground, it's more of those regard to, reason of Nazi regard to, oh, it's another one sort of on their territory. In particular, because they're reason for because they're Manti. That's probably how difficult it has been to sort of detect them, or probably the alarming system, or for alarm registers of sort of a carbon, sort of a hydrogen peroxide detector by this carbon monoxide. The current Europe is not sort of a Europe, it's a hideous Europe. Well, what a vicious around, man. Check out the amount of this wrong examples that are out there. All of them pretend as if some innocent manufacturing machine that aren't even here, while indulgences doesn't speak to its identical cancers. Wears different apparels, walks in the Walmart like some sort of emperor, doesn't greet anybody, not prepared to greet anybody. These are utterly no senses. Since the great generation gone, these brutes has utterly taken over, gotten to tremendous numbers. All it needs to do is continue its trend, it stacks on this faulty default, then the stuff are going to default to theirs. Doesn't matter if the billionaires are billionaires, they even know the cash are sort of flimsy, are sort of something fictional more of. They have the TV, they have the vehicle, they have the rights. Our guys are constantly already preemptively death-marked. Even onto the more of intelligent requirement forums, this has been a number-based global Nazi takeover. Governments get your armies together. Fix any meshes herein if it wasn't sort of as super quality preferable. We're regularly here at this station bombarded as if it's trenches by these feminazis. The feminazis, notice and remove the feminazi, would it decrease any value? So then, those are leeches. Start nail towards them. Reason to send them to wire traps or jail them first. Reason they are for hyperly for the reason or jail them first. Who knows what other drugs they had installed to us? Papa also later combine or forms combination or Papa combos with certain inflictions of with the peekaboo instructions, hijacks after call. They are the first human traffickers. Traps young children, starts programming, probably marries off, probably me happens to be exception, still survives, whereas lots of other ones has been already sterilized, told to stand down, even though there's so many of these enemies out there. They would have shot a lot more lions, suppose it wasn't calculated as more alarming. They want to, and if the current sort of the spells doesn't, probably to their perception, probably doesn't work of. We often describe don't have to be following grammar lane. The grammar lane itself is a nonsense. It may as well be, could be probably a Nazism supported variation of, but then it exaggerates it to such extensive level. Notice a pseudo reason, or probably the pseudo-ness isn't reason of proper so much of necessarily something different, but something close, always joins together with the others. This language itself cuts the person. For example, in, on, est, so should, what's up, why not, what's up, or what's up for, what's wrong with the extra extending sound there? They purposely remove it so that then it's more difficult, so then it becomes, in a while, it's sort of left to right. It may as well sort of stay more at the middle. Those are some of the examples. Reasons of a proper regard to reasons of a proper. Those are some of the examples. Mass hideousness, extremism, while it doesn't perform properly as a villain, reasons of a proper generalization of probably also to undeads of. The describe probably the concept of zombie apocalypse is at current. So suppose someone goes out there to consumers' places. Which one of the places those ones who doesn't even care. It's not sort of this, they really want to attack you, but simply disclose you as a trash. You're no longer useful to them, guys. You are the trash to these with hallmark humor. They wish you were shot like JFK when something bad happened to you. They care for you. If they care for you, they would care for the other homeless that resemble to you. They even define those as your own people. So what should you be doing, Prime Minister? Still there celebrating your own people's detriment by doing less or blockading the more capable person from taking that position of? Take away the self-pettiness or probably those petty projects, this entanglement. They give it to you. Understand, despite sort of the weather conditions, reason for kind of reason for inferior one received. He takes another defiant stance for the allies of Europe, reason for partners throughout the 5 continents, of reason for Papua, particular for reason for to most of the partners at Europa, of reason there for Papua, so reason there for Papua. After another, for reason of Papua, another reason of Papua, or reason of Papua, also reason of Papua, or Europa, of reason there for Papua, another pronunciation, for reason for Papua, Europe, of reason there for Papua, of Europe, of